As part of my Irish course in secondary school, one of the pieces of literature we had to study was something called An Gnáthróid. That literally translates to the ordinary things. It's a story about this man who goes through the ordinary routine on a Friday night. He lives in an ordinary house with his ordinary family, with his ordinary wife and his ordinary kids. He goes out with the lads from his ordinary job, gets the ordinary round of drinks, and then afterwards goes and gets the ordinary takeaway, the ordinary order from the ordinary Chinese, and walks home with his wife. And then, at the very end of the story, he's shot in the back of the head. The story is about the Troubles in Northern Ireland and about how people being killed left, right, and centre was one of the ordinary things at the time. People dying due to terrorism was commonplace. It was so common that it was considered ordinary. When I first read this story, it didn't really occur to me how widely applicable it was. It resonated with my understanding of the Troubles in Northern Ireland for obvious reasons, but now that I'm in interesting times, I'm starting to understand that story in a new light. This is my final video of this project, and it should be a day of note. It should be something worthy of, any measure of celebration, but in fact, it's not. This is simply an ordinary video. I had an ordinary day today. I went to the shop, as usual. I bought my normal pastries. I got some normal juice, and then I had my lunch in the sitting room, as normal. I cleaned up a little bit, and I worked away studying. Completely normal and ordinary day of work. Nothing spectacular happened. And so these are the normal things that happen in my day-to-day life, but beyond my little bubble of existence, the bigger picture is not so much to do with the Troubles like they were in Northern Ireland in the latter half of the 20th century, but rather it's the pandemic, the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the climate catastrophe that's going on. I started this project with the aim of being able to document my everyday as we came out of this pandemic, but the pandemic still rages on. It's better now, but it's still here, and we're still dealing with it. And so that is the looming sensation. These videos serve as a time capsule, more or less, of what it was like to be living normally during this completely abnormal time. It was this flash in the pan, this momentary existence that is ultimately going to be overshadowed by the grand historical things that are happening beyond my personal life. 6 years ago, when I first tried this project out, it was 2016, and if you remember anything about 2016, that was the year that all the celebrities died, and that was the year that Brexit was voted on, and that was the year that Donald Trump was elected. So that period of my life was ultimately overshadowed in the zeitgeist and my own personal memory by the major historical events, arguably not as major as a fucking pandemic, but they were overshadowed. And in much the same way that the Troubles overshadowed the ordinary personal lives of people living in Northern Ireland at the time, the pandemic is overshadowing the personal experiences of everyone living nowadays. And so that's why I think it's good that I have all of this footage available to me. Frequently, I find myself very thankful of the fact that I've been filming so much. It's fair to say that I haven't exactly filmed a variety of different subjects. It's mainly been this exact shot. But losing a friend this year has prompted me to look back through my archives and see exactly how much footage and how many photos I have. And truly, I value all of the candid, unscripted footage that I have of him. It gives me a connection to Kieran despite him no longer being with us. It's things like this that make me glad that I have stuck with filming. I'm glad that I have had this motivation to keep filming random clips and then figure out a story later. I haven't deleted a single piece of footage that I filmed in the past year because maybe in 25 years or so I'll enjoy it. Maybe there will be some archival value to be had in them. I don't know. I genuinely do not know. The idea of deleting footage and then someday no longer being able to watch through it and find something that I missed, it's a little bit terrifying. The world is a big and terrifying place, and as someone who is dealing with space in their degree, the world is tiny, but it's also gigantic, and so it's terrifying to imagine the comparison between one's own personal life and the world at large. And so I'm glad that I have this project to ground me to what it's like to be an individual. I'm not so certain that this turned out to be the art project that I initially set out it to be. I'm glad that this is an archive of data, of conversations, of thoughts. It's probably not high quality entertainment, but I am still happy I've done this. So future Alan, I'll see you tomorrow, but then you'll never see me again. Stay safe out there. It's a scary place.